You mean, I hope you all knew I was gonna make a video on this. I haven't uploaded in like a month, but this shit is something I have to talk about, yeah? Like, for sure, for sure. Okay, in case you've been living under a rock for today, Rakan'S nerfs are available to see, and here they are. Here are the nerfs. Preface, as I heave right over here, my little notes. This is good this is happening. Rakan needs to get nerfed. He's not in a healthy state right now. It's a good thing that Rakan is getting nerfed. I approve. In fact, this should have happened like a month ago. Really. So, but anyway, besides that, let's get actually into it here. I'm gonna make this nice and quick for you guys. This is a band-aid nerf. This is awful. This change is terrible. I don't know what Riot's doing. This does absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. This is worthless. 2 armor and 0.2 armor growth is worthless. This will do absolutely nothing. Rakan is still going to be stupid after this. And as a reminder, Rakan is strong not because of his engage, which his engage has been the exact same power since he's been for like 47% win rate back in 10.16 when that was the last time his engage got buffed. So he has had the exact same engage power since he had, 47% win rate. So really, it's not his engage. If his win rate jumps up 6%, then it's clearly not the problem of his engage, right? Obviously. So this is a betting nerf to the actual issue, which is Enchanter Rakan. The idea that Rakan as an engaged champion, his best playstyle and highest win rate playstyle and easiest playstyle is doing nothing, not engaging as an engaged champion. I cannot believe we are at this point. But yes, that is the biggest issue here, is that Rakan the Engager, his most optimal playstyle is not engaging, because there is no counterplay to Rakan if he does not engage. And currently, he just isn't engaging, because why would he? Because it's so much easier to not engage and contribute so consistently by never contributing negatively. Okay, this is a band-aid nerf. This will not do anything. Rakan will remain stupid. The actual issue then is in 1 patch, 2 patches, 3 patches maybe, 4 patches maybe, he will get nerfed again, because this does not solve any of his issues. And when that does happen, this stinky little nerf, even though it doesn't really do anything, is going to remain in the game forever, and Riot is never going to get rid of it. So all this does, it doesn't really impact gameplay for the most part, because it's so small, but you as a Rakan player will think of it from time to time, and it will sting and hurt. And you'll be like, we got Band-Aid nerfed, and they never really dealt with the issue until 2 months later, and we just get to hold on to this nerf forever for literally no reason. So this just feels terrible long-term for anyone that actually likes to invest their time into playing Rakan. Band-Aid nerfs are never a good idea. This is completely brain dead to do a Band-Aid nerf on this. 2, this Band-Aid nerf isn't even targeted at the right area. Why are we nerfing his base stats, which as a reminder, right, only really hurt Engage Rakan, because Engage Rakan actually jumps in and needs those tank stats to be able to stall to get out afterwards. So why are we nerfing base stats if Enchanter Rakan never engages in the first place? He's never taking damage because he's always using mobility to run away. Okay, so if he's not taking damage ever, then this does nothing, obviously. So for most champions, hitting base stats is hitting their skill floor playstyle. In this case, the skill floor playstyle is Enchanter Rakan, which is broken and needs nerfs. But unfortunately, this nerf, base stats, for Rakan's case, actually hits his skill ceiling playstyle, his engage playstyle. So that's the issue. It's targeted at his base stats and not his Q, which is the actual thing they need to nerf. A full revert of the patch 13.3 changes, honestly, I think is necessary at this point. If they're going to go down this long, tedious road of Band-Aid nerfing Rakan, and then maybe nerfing his engage if they mess it up. We've been down this road before. This isn't fun. Rakan was worthless for 3 years when they did this. From patch 9.2 to patch 12.10, he was a worthless champion. Can we not go down a 3-year-long road that we've already been down? Thank you, Riot Games. Can we not do this again? So let's just target the right thing. In this case, what they should be doing is a full revert of those Q buffs. Full revert. Just straight up. Revert the entire patch. Let's pretend like it never happened. That's the right thing to do. Riot has a ton of hubris and a huge ego when it comes to these things, and they never ever do full reverts. So honestly, I would settle for a partial revert. Reverting the heal buff and the Q cooldown buff, and leaving in the Q mana cost, because even though then they can be spammed more often, at least the cooldown's still a bit more up, and at least the healing would be back to being shitty. So at the very least, they can spam it on a lower mana cost, but the healing is still going to be shitty, so who really cares? It'll be like before, when it didn't really matter. So, anyways, they should be nerfing or reverting his Q, not hitting base stats. It's stupid. Rakan was completely irrelevant until patch 13.3 when they buffed his Q. Because, as I put right here, why? Because skill floor reduced. Because it made the champion brain dead easy to play. because suddenly I don't have to engage and play around my high skill ceiling counterplay elements of 0.5 second delay before I can use W or flash after ulting, and 50 charm range, and 600 range W, and like, they didn't have to play around any of that. They just sit back and they run away with their excessive mobility, and they use their point and click. Well, I mean, it's easy point and click, but that's not the point. Point is, they just sit back and they don't never engage. An engaged champ that doesn't engage, especially in Rakan'S case, is not healthy. It is not healthy. The Rakan'S primary playstyle as an engaged champion is to not engage. That is so stupid. I can't believe Riot doesn't see this. So, Rakan was only relevant in patch 13.3 and onwards because it reduced his skill floor by such an excessive amount that suddenly it overshadowed his contributions when you played him really skillfully at his skill ceiling. Why would you ever put in so much mastery into playing a character at his skill ceiling when it is more effective and more consistent to abuse Rakan'S extremely low skill floor since his Q got overbuffed? And now just rewards bad players for picking up and playing the champion and spamming Q and never being punished because all they do is run away and spam Q. It is so unhealthy, it's crazy. He's not in a healthy spot. Please. I just can't believe he's in such an unhealthy spot and we just haven't been doing anything about it until now. And yet this doesn't even do anything. Okay, and lastly, as I kind of already touched on a little bit, this nerf, if anything, it doesn't do anything, right? This nerf is garbage and completely placebo and completely band-aid. But if this nerf does anything at all, even slightly, it will hurt, once again, his engage playstyle, which doesn't need a nerf. Because as a reminder, he's had the exact same power on his engage since patch 10.16. That was the last time they buffed the actual potency of his engage, not the uptime of his W in patch 12.11. I know what you're thinking. That doesn't count. The actual potency and effectiveness of his engage was last buffed in patch 12 or 10.16 when they buffed his ult from 50% to 75%. That was the last time they buffed it, and back then Rakan had like a 47% win rate. Never really got better. If he's had the same engage power since he's been 47% win rate, and at the same time has had the same engage power when he's been at a 53% win rate with a really high play rate, then his engage was never the issue. Yes? As long as Riot can realize that, they'll realize, I guess patch 13.3, which is the patch that forced Rakan into being meta, was the issue. Well, not anything before that. It wasn't his engage, because it's been the same power and it hasn't been doing anything. It was patch 13.3 that shot Rakan into meta. And that was Q buffs. Thank you. So yes, that is pretty much my opinion on the Rakan nerfs. These are brain dead. I cannot believe the morons at Riot that are handling this. I don't know how they managed to fumble every Rakan change. Well, I can, because they're idiots and they don't play the champ, so of course they're going to fumble these changes. But, like, this is just ridiculous. And before anyone says anything, I know these are intentionally left underwhelming because this is the MSI patch, so they're trying to leave each change more underwhelming just to keep the meta consistent for MSI. That is no excuse. Rakan should have been nerfed a month ago, and these should have been proper changes, not a placebo band-aid nerf in which they will have to revisit Rakan again in the future. So anyways, stupid changes. Stupid Riot Games. This is stupid. That's pretty much that. These are awful changes. These should be pulled. His patch 13.3 changes should be completely pulled or partially pulled. And that should be it. Yep, that's all. Okay. Well, I'll probably see you guys in 2 to 4 weeks when they nerf Rakan again, because these changes are stupid. And hopefully by when that happens, they don't nerf his W or his R. Otherwise, Engage Rakan, as we know, will be dead. And that would suck. So, yep, that's pretty much it. We hope these get reverted. And we also hope his 13.3 changes get reverted. Hashtag revert Rakan buffs. Anyhow, later skaters. Enjoy the suffering. Hee hee. Hee hee.